Yes, children of class 6. Now I'm going to send you the second part of Rise of Kingdoms and Republics. I've divided the chapter into three parts. I've already sent one part to you, and the last thing which we did in that was social organizations. Now I'm going to do Republican state of Vajji with you just now, and then I will be sending the second part today, and the third part I will send after a few days. Now, the Republican state of Vajji. Vajji was also called Vriji, and it was a Gana Sangha. That is a state ruled by the heads of families belonging to a clan or by the chiefs of several clans. So Gana Sangha is a state which is ruled by the heads of families or by the chiefs of several clans. Gana refers to those who claim equal status, and Sangha means assembly. Gana means who claim equal status in society, and Sangha means assembly. Vajji was a confederacy. Vajji was a confederacy, that is a union of, confederacy means union of 8 clans. Among these clans, the most important were the Lichavis and the Videhans. The most important were the Lichavis and the Videhans among these clans. Now, it is believed that Vajji was ruled by an assembly of more than 7,000 clan representatives and elders, each called a Raja or ruler. Each was called a Raja or a ruler. The members of the assembly together, they took decisions on all major issues. Now, it is believed that Vajji was ruled by an assembly. Okay, it was ruled by an assembly of more than 7,000 clan representatives and elders, and each was called a Raja or a ruler. The members of the assembly together, they took decisions on all major issues. Vajji had its capital at Vaishali. Now, Gana Sanghas such as Vajji, they flourished around the time when Gautam Buddha founded Buddhism and Vardhaman Mahavira founded Jainism. Okay, so now Gana Sanghas such as Vajji and other Gana Sanghas also, they flourished at that time when Gautam Buddha and Mahavira, Lord Mahavira, they founded their religions. In fact, both these great thinkers belong to the Gana Sanghas. They also belong to the Gana Sanghas. And the Buddha belonged to the Gana Sangha of the Shakya clan and Mahavira to the Jantrika clan of Vajji. There was intense rivalry between Vajji and the monarchy of Magadh. Intense rivalry, okay, both were competing with each other. So there was intense rivalry between Vajji and Magadh. The Buddha did not want the Republican Vajji to lose out to the monarchy. He said that Vajji would remain strong if its rulers followed established rules, met often and took decisions together, gave freedom to women and respected saints. This is what Gautam Buddha said. He said that Vajji would remain strong. Okay, it would remain strong if its rulers, they followed established rules, the rules which were established, if they followed them, if they met together and took decisions, and they gave freedom to women and they respected their saints. Now, the monarchies. We are going to read about the monarchies now. The four most prominent monarchies were Kosala, Vatsa, Magad, and Avanti. At that time, the four prominent monarchies, they were Kosala, Vatsa, Magad, and Avanti. You know what is a monarchy? The head is a hereditary ruler, and in a republic, he is elected by the people. The first three were in the Gangetic plains, that is Kosala, Vatsa, and Magda. They were in the Gangetic plain, and the last Avanti was in the Malwa region. There was intense rivalry among these Mahajanpadas, resulting in frequent wars. They were having intense rivalry, they were competing with each other, and it resulted in frequent wars. Magad, it emerged as the victorious. It used to win in this struggle. Among all these four, which monarchy emerged as the most victorious? It was Magad. Now, how did Magad rise? Rise of Magad. The main area of Magad was located in what is now Bihar. From the 6th century BC to the 4th century BC, Magad was ruled by three dynasties in succession, namely the Haryanka, Sisunaga, and Nanda. Information about the Magadhan dynasties and rulers is available in the literary texts of the Buddhists and Jains. So all this information about the Magadhan dynasties you will come to know in the Jain and Buddhist texts, and also in Panini's Ashtadhyayi. grammar, and Kautilya's Arthashastra. Magad emerged as the most powerful Mahajanpada due to several factors. Now, there were many factors because of which this Magad became a winner. First was the natural advantage. Natural advantages were Magad was situated on the fertile plains along the river Ganga, and it had rich natural resources because it was in the fertile plains along the Ganga. So the natural resources were very rich. The forests they yielded timber for making chariots. Yielded means they had this good wood. Okay, timber is good wood which was used for making chariots, boats, and buildings. The iron ore deposits provided iron for making weapons and tools. So there were iron ore deposits also over there, and these were very good for making weapons and tools. The elephants from the forest increased Magad's military strength. There were many elephants in the forest, and because of that, what happened? The military strength of Magad increased, as elephants in those days served as tanks used in wars today. Now, the rivers such as the Ganga and Son provided water and made the land fertile. So, the rivers also promoted transport and trade. So, there were so many factors which added to Magad's victory. So, children, today we have just read that what are confederacies. We've read about the Gana Sangha, we've read about the monarchies, the four monarchies, and we've read about the rise of Magad and why did Magad become powerful. We've read about its natural advantages. So all this, just go through it and revise it, and the remaining part of the chapter I will be sending later on. So please enjoy the video, and you all should see the video, especially the children who missed the class. Okay children, bye bye and take care of yourselves.